As the finale season of Stranger Things Season 4, is creeping up on us, I thought it would be a good idea to review the first 3 seasons before it. Over the next 3 videos, I will be ranking each season from 1 to 10, 10 of course being the best. And after I rank each season, the average of each season will be my official score for the entire show of Stranger Things. Simple enough? Let's get into it then. When considering how I will be ranking each season of Stranger Things, I will be splitting each season into 3 categories: the story, the characters, and just the thrilling or horror aspect of it. I'll run through each season, focusing on each of these categories and giving a score out of 10 for how well the season executed it. And the average of those scores is my official ranking for that season. I've wanted to talk about how much I love Stranger Things for a very long time. I first fell in love with Stranger Things because of the thrilling horror feeling it gave me when I watched the iconic opening scene from Season 1. The entire reason I kept watching Stranger Things after episode 1 was how interesting it was to try and solve the mysteries it presented. The entire premise of the show is very new and never been done before, so it leaves much to think about. With those 3 categories in mind, let's begin with the story of Season 1. Season 1 is extremely unique. From the first few minutes of the pilot episode, you are captivated to find out what happened to Will Byers. I found myself on the edge of my seat as the episodes got more and more intense. As the season finale was getting closer and closer, you could feel the show starting to get much more extreme and exciting. Of course, I am most likely wrong when I say this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. I feel Stranger Things is one of the last shows with a legitimately original storyline. And the entire concept of trying to find a missing kid or a missing person, or the entire mystery feel of Season 1 is not an original idea, but the entire concept of the Upside Down and the inspiration from Dungeons and Dragons to create monsters like the Demogorgon, and in later seasons, the Mind Flayer, it's incredibly original and brilliant. It's a breath of fresh air from the most modern movies and shows that are, let's just say, not the greatest.
More BS.
The story of each season is also a reason why Stranger Things will always have a very, very safe and warm spot in my empty, dark heart. Each of the characters of the show are important and serve to complete their arc and help guide the story onwards. And with the help of the incredibly synthetic 80s feel of the soundtrack, it manages to pull you in and captivates you by the incredible show that is Stranger Things. Tell me, after hearing this breathtaking, soothing music, you don't instantly fall in love with it. The string of clues that the main characters, Mike, Dustin, and Lucas, have to follow give you the feeling of a thrilling detective show. I won't give you a detailed review of the entire season, as of course, most of you have probably already seen the show, and if you haven't, I don't want to spoil the story. When considering all aspects of the Season 1 storyline, such as the originality, creativity, and the amazing motivation that drives the characters toward their end goals. I am giving the storyline of Stranger Things Season 1 a 10 out of 10. I simply don't want to spoil it if you have already seen the show. So when ranking each season of Stranger Things, I will be keeping details as vague as possible. Except for Season 4, I will be releasing a spoiler review as fast as possible right after Volume 1 releases on May 27th. But, I mean, give me some time to, watch the show and record things and write a script and it might take a few days. But I'm going to release that video, and it is going to be great. The cast of the show does an amazing job at playing their respective parts, which leads me into part 2 of this video, the characters. For the most part, throughout the judging of each season, I will be looking at whether the characters were used well and had good development, and drove the story forward. Starting with the main 4 characters, Mike, Dustin, Lucas, and of course 11. I'm not adding Will to the main 4 characters simply because he wasn't really in Season 1 that much. The main 4 kids at the beginning of the season feel like friends. In many shows and movies, it's hard to sell an audience on characters being friends. The friendship of Mike, Dustin, Lucas, and Will feels real. So it's obvious that the writers of Stranger Things know how to write a friendship and a relationship. After Will goes missing, you can tell through the script and the great acting by the cast of Stranger Things that they truly did have an amazing and strong friendship. When 11 is first introduced, it's even a mystery to the viewers about who she is and what led to her being in the woods. After the kids find 11 in the woods, it's interesting to watch the kids try to figure out exactly what to do next. Throughout the season, the group obviously faces many hardships. The friendship, the determination, and of course, the language is extremely believable and interesting. The main group of kids feel like a normal group of D&D playing kids from the 80s. It would make anyone want to live in the same time as them. Of course, if I was to review each character in the show, this video would be several hours long, but I must mention my favorite character, and in my opinion, the best character in all of Stranger Things. This is not an opinion, this is an indisputable fact, and you have to agree with me no matter what, because the best character in all of Stranger Things is Steve Harrington.
Ahoy, ladies! Didn't see you there. Hello.
I love the character of Steve. In the beginning of Stranger Things, the Duffer Brothers actually wrote him as an ordinary jock bully that was always just a terrible boyfriend. But over the time of filming, the Duffers loved filming with the actor of Steve, Joe Carey, so much that they rewrote his character to have a redemption arc. Throughout Stranger Things, I have found myself rooting for Steve to not only be the greatest mom to the kids of the show, but to also find someone. We believe in you, Steve! And I swear, if Steve dies in Season 4 of Stranger Things,
See you on the other side.
On the other side.
I will be giving Season 4 a 0 out of 10 when I review it. You better not kill him off, Duffers! I'm looking at you, hey! I'm looking at you. I swear you better not! Overall, I feel the characters on Stranger Things are just written incredibly well. They're all likable and enjoyable to watch. I feel the characters in Stranger Things are the strongest point of the entire series. And with that, I give the characters section of Season 1 of Stranger Things a 10 out of 10. And we arrive at the final of 3 rankings on the first season of Stranger Things, Season 1. So far, we've covered the overall quality of the storyline in Season 1, and how well the characters of Season 1 were as well. I've given both a resounding 10 out of 10, and as you'll pick up on, Season 1 of Stranger Things, in my eyes, is the perfect season. It can't be improved or redone. And next week, when we cover Season 2 of Stranger Things, you'll find that I love Season 2 so much, mostly because it didn't try to be something it wasn't. It didn't try to be Season 1. Season 2 is a completely different show, and it works to its advantage. I watch Stranger Things for the thrilling feeling it gives me. It doesn't quite cross into being considered horror, but it's enough to be thrilling and put you on the edge of your seat and make you sweat when it gets quiet right before a jump scare. Sometimes I find myself taking off my headphones because I know there is a jump scare coming, so I don't want to jump. One of the best memories I have of Stranger Things was secretly logging into my older brother's Netflix account to watch Stranger Things when it first came out. I was 9 at the time. I remember getting nightmares from the first few minutes, but loving the show too much to stop watching. That day is when I fell in love with Stranger Things. The main factor that made me want to keep watching was the thriller aspect in each episode. The thrilling parts mashed with the mystery side of the show made an incredibly enjoyable and addicting product. Now, you might think I just went off on a rant, but I was actually talking about the third aspect I will be judging each of the seasons off of. The thrilling feeling. I don't even have to go rambling on anymore, as what I just said sums it all up. The thrilling part of Stranger Things is why I started watching, and why I never stopped, to be honest. That is why I give the thrilling aspect of Season 1 a 10 out of 10. In general, Stranger Things will always be special to me, especially its first season. For some reason, watching a show that will be special to you for the first time is so memorable, and it's so hard to recreate the way you feel the first time. Every time I rewatch Stranger Things, it's like I'm watching it for the first time. Very few shows can replicate that feeling you get when you watch a great movie or show for the first time, and that is why I love Stranger Things. It's clear from my rankings of each aspect of Season 1 that the first season of Stranger Things is getting a resounding 10 out of 10. I genuinely think it's the perfect season. In 1 week, I will be releasing the part 2 of this video, where we will be looking at the second season of Stranger Things, and seeing if it holds up against the beautiful creation that is Stranger Things Season 1. Thanks for watching.